Have you seen the film Sinners, Deep Divers? I have, and it was good. Really good. Really, really good. It was so good the cat down the road was clapping. Like that, Deep Divers. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about Sinners, movie breakdown, hidden messages that you may have missed. Deep Divers. This was no regular vampire film. There are so many subliminal messages in this film that are going to help you become your greatest version as well. Once you decode it, once I help you decode it, I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support the real. Hit that like button if you support the real Deep Divers, because we got a whole lot to talk about. Let's go. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Deep Divers, I woke up like this, all magical and turquoisey, just, whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. That's so much better. Raising the frequency. I feel so much better now. Raising the vibration. I feel so much better now. Deep Divers sending you all tons of good ass energy. Take that, take that, take that. The cat down the road said you feel fantastic. And shout out to everyone who's joined the YouTube membership for all new behind the scenes access, Deep Divers information that's going to help you become your greatest version. Click join below this video and join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart Deep Divers. Click the link down below and be inspired. And go and get the brand new book, Deep Divers. Feel Alive 2. Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart, their secret recipe to becoming your greatest version, now available on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the-book. Click the link down below, Deep Divers, and become your greatest version. So, I saw the film Sinners, and first and foremost, shout out to Ryan Coogler, phenomenal film. And it was no average vampire film, Deep Divers. Deep Divers, there were so many hidden messages that you may have missed, and in this video, we're going to dissect everything. We're going to talk about things you may have missed, hidden messages, subliminals, and also information that we can use from that film to actually help us become our greatest version. Okay, look, if you are watching this video, this is your confirmation, Deep Divers. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and everything is aligning for you. If you're ready for that, do a little samba, baby. So, Deep Divers, Sinners. So much to talk about. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? So I'm not going to give everything away if you haven't seen the film, but I'm going to tell you the hidden messages in this film, right? So if you don't want to know them, go away. Look, what is this film about? Okay, so the studio tell us that twin brothers smoke and stack. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan, phenomenal acting, who plays these twins, Smoke and Stack, okay? They return back to Mississippi, the Mississippi Delta, after a hard life in Chicago. And guess who's waiting for them? Vampires, okay? These supernatural vampires who are ready to bite them on the neck, and they don't even know what vampires are, Deep Divers, in 1932. Now, here's where it gets exciting. When you remind yourself that this was set in 1932, and I always tell you, they don't spend millions of dollars on these big budget productions for nothing. Hollywood means casting spells, but it's not always a bad spell. It can also be a good spell to wake your ass up. And I do believe that's what Ryan Coogler was doing with this film, Sinners, to wake up people. Because 1932 is Jim Crow, right? A lot of racism in the African American communities. You had the Ku Klux Klan and all of that. And in my mind, that's what this film was all about. It was reminding people how the vampires actually are a metaphor for the oppressive life and times that the people had to endure in 1932, especially in the African American community. So when you take a look at the film Sinners, a lot of people just say, oh, it's just a vampire film. But when you dive deeper, these two twins, Smoke and Stack, are a representation of twins, right? Brothers who were close-knit and tight-knit. And they were on this quest to go after the American dream, right? To say, hey, I want to make it. And they got offered this deal in the form of a house, right? By a very wealthy man who was actually the head of the clan. He said, hey, you can buy this house. But there was a catch. Because even though they got this house and they were singing these beautiful blues songs, and shout out to Sammy, amazing voice in the film, great music in the film Deep Divers, right? But there was a hidden catch because they were confronted by some other people, and this was also a metaphor for strangers, right? A lot of people don't realize this film Sinners was actually about music, how hip hop has actually been infiltrated by corporations. We're going to talk about that, okay? How so many rappers have passed away, but they've been exploited. Mac Dre, Tupac Shakur. Corporations have made millions of them. These are the vampires, right? But anyway, so in the film, the vampires kind of befriend this woman, and she's not a vampire, but she gets seduced by the vampires. And in life, we can all get seduced by vampires. That's a metaphor for the glitz, the glamour, the gold, on the road to riches and diamond rings. And now she gets infected. And now the vampires are approaching the house. And this is a metaphor. Taking the African American experience of the whole history of music, like hip hop actually started as a very positive thing. You had X-Clan, KRS-One, Tribe Called Quest, Public Enemy, Rakim. But all of a sudden, these corporations changed hip hop into rap music. That's what this film Sinners is all about, in my mind, is showing you how the vampires could only come in if you said yes. When the vampires arrived at the door, they were knocking. Can I come in? They couldn't come in by themselves. You had to say yes. Once you said yes, now the vampires could infiltrate you, infect you, and destroy your whole community. So this is a metaphor for everything that's happened, even in the realm of music. In music, you had conscious hip hop, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, and then it got infiltrated with gangster rap, right? And the frequency started to drop. That's what Ryan Coogler was telling you in this film, that, hey, anytime you got people knocking on your door who don't have your best interests at hand, watch out. They could be vampires. And that's what happened. So it's all about you being vigilant, that not everyone who comes to you saying, hey, I'm a good person. Hey, I can be your friend. Hey, I can play a little music for you. You still have to be cautious, because they secretly might be vampires, right? This film was so deep that it also explored how these vampires, they couldn't stand the light. And the great paradox is that they were attracted to the light, right? These vampires were attracted to the light within you, the fresh blood, the music. This film was all about how you have the talent. Chosen ones, you have the talent, you have the gifts, and that's the reason why you got to protect it, right? In the beginning of the film, the preacher told his son, hey, don't go dancing with the devil. You may not come back home. And so many people in this world, in this matrix, they get seduced by vampires, aka the glitz and the glamour, aka the American dream, aka corporations, working for a corporation, aka the hustle and bustle of the matrix. They get seduced by a vampire and they sell their soul in the process, and that's how they get infected. And now they want to infect other people. But once upon a time, they had their soul intact. Sinners. Hidden messages you may have missed. You see, when you remind yourself that the vampires could only come in the house of hip hop, with your invitation. This film was showing you that anytime you're around an energy vampire, deep divers become your greatest version. They can only infect you or attack you with your permission. How do we give vampires permission? People who want to drain your energy, rob you of your precious energy, by giving them your attention. That's how you attract vampires. That's how they attack you. When you are caught off guard, that's when the vampires come. When you let them in, that's when the vampires can come for you. So it was all about protecting your energy. That's what this film was also about, protecting your energy, realizing that actually you got to stay together. Unity is power. And that's the reason why in the film you see them with the shotguns, warding off vampires. And it's all about, hey, don't think everything is sweet. Because the same guy that gave them the house, when they wanted to purchase it, he said, grand opening, grand closing. It was a plan all along. He was the head of the clan. And once again, that film was set in 1932 in the Mississippi Delta, at the height of racism, Jim Crow. So the twins thought they were getting a deal, not realizing it was a whole trap from the beginning. And so many people, they get handed something in the Matrix and they start smiling, not realizing it was all a trap to begin with. What good is it to gain all the riches in the world, but to lose your soul in the process? Slow motion this side. That's what this film Sinners was all about. It was even the title of the film, Sinners, that you are sinners. You're in Sin City. Deep divers, chosen ones, you're in Sin City. And that's the reason why everyone around you, even close friends, might be infected. Even the one you're married to might have got bitten. And that's the reason why you can't trust everyone. You always have to have your guard up. And you have to be ready that vampires never die because they don't have any soul to begin with. This film was also telling you that one thing the vampires couldn't stand, deep divers, was the light. Anytime you're around an energy vampire, anytime you're around someone who wants to drain you of your energy, be the light, and that's your protection. So every single day, make sure you're bathing in the daylight, because now vampires can't come near you. Anytime you are in the light, you have divine protection. But anytime you lose your light, now the vampires are going to have a feast. So this film was all about light and exploring this theme of light, that so many people lose their light in this system, in this matrix. And that's how the vampire consumes you. Once you've lost your soul, game over. Good night. Pack up. So this film was all about holding on to your light. And what happened towards the end of the film? One of the brothers started to wake up. That's right. And it's like Die Hard with a vengeance, right? He went crazy because he started to remember who he really was. The vampires had pulled the wool over his eyes. And one of the brothers, he started remembering his true power. He started to realize that actually not everything that glitters is good for you. Not everything that glitters is gold. He started to realize that actually he had been tricked by the head of the clan all along. And he was actually still a slave. And now he wanted his freedom back. He went crazy, right? Because remind yourself, deep divers in the film, when she got infected, she said, I'm going to kill all of you. I'm going to kill every single last one of you. That was, and that is the vampire's mission in this matrix. Once again, vampires are not people with fangs or soulless beings with fangs. Vampires, we're talking about this very matrix you're living in, which is designed to drain you of your energy. A lot of people come home, oh, I'm so tired. That's because you've been in the presence of a vampire, and it's time for you to take back your power. That's what he was doing towards the end of the film, because he finally realized actually he was already wealthy. Actually, it wasn't worth it taking that deal from the head of the clan, because in the process, he lost his brother. And this film, Sinners, the hidden messages are that you are going to be surrounded by vampires. You are already surrounded by vampires as soon as you walk out of your house, deep divers. When you're in your house, when you turn on the TV, when you open your bills, your bank statements, these are all vampiric forces, and you have to protect your energy. So when you remind yourself, vampires have infiltrated hip hop and turned it into rap music. That's what this film is also telling you. That they took something positive, Tribe Called Quest, KRS-One, De La Soul, Rakim, X-Clan, Public Enemy, and they gave you this, NWA. They gave you gangster rap. These are the vampires now. And that's the reason why at the end of the film, they were dressed in hip hop clothing, right? Rap clothing, hip hop clothing. And they went to the old guy, hey, you can live forever. The old guy said, no, I don't want your money. I'm good. And even one of the twins said, hey, I don't want your money either. That was also a hidden message, because in the beginning of the film, he said, money is power. Money is everything. And then towards the end of the film, he realized that actually money is how they trap you in the matrix. Money is how they enslave you in the matrix. And he now realized that actually money is not God. I am God. Slow motion this side. And we are the ones we're waiting for. He now realized that actually I'm more powerful than your money. And this was another hidden message in this film. Once you wake up to who you really are, you say soul not for sale. Once you wake up to who you really are, you can't be bought. Once you have knowledge of self, Sheikh Anta Diop, all of these people, once you read those kind of books, you have knowledge of self, you become like this instead of this, right? So that was another message that actually, in the end, once you find out who you really are, you're no longer interested in everything the vampire promises you. The vampire, that's a metaphor for the Matrix, promises you eternal life. I'll give you everything. Once you accept the deal, you now become a vampire. And that's the reason why a lot of people, especially in the music industry, they signed on the dotted line. Kanye West said, I sold my soul to the devil for a crappy deal. He's talking about, I sold my soul to the vampire for a crappy deal. Well, at least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. Yeah, I got all of this money, but where's my soul at? Where's my happiness at? And this is what he realized at the end of the film, that actually, I just want a family. I just want to be with my family. I don't want your material possessions. I don't want anything that the vampire has to offer me. That's what this film was all about. This is a hidden message in the film Sinners. How hip hop was so positive, and then they changed. Vampires came in, infiltrated hip hop, and they turned the frequency. They lowered the frequency. They gave you gangster rap. And that's what this film was all about. Let me just break down rap versus hip hop. Hip hop is all about knowledge of self. Rap is all about ignorance. Hip hop is all about self-expression. Rap is all about being told what your master tells you to do. Hip hop is all about empowering the community. Rap is all about dumbing down the masses. That's the reason why a lot of these rappers are paid millions of dollars to dumb down your children. What are they saying in those lyrics of the music? Nothing positive. That's because they signed the deal with the vampire. That's what this film Sinners was all about. That's what this film Sinners was all about. And it's all about saying, hey, people, start to wake up. You don't have to be a sexy red. You can be a Lauryn Hill. Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. I said you don't have to be a sexy red. You can be a Lauryn Hill. You can be a Kendrick Lamar. And shout out to Kendrick Lamar, who did the Super Bowl, right? Kendrick Lamar was showing you that actually I can still get a message through even though I'm surrounded by vampires. He knows what's up. Kendrick knows what's up. He knows he's in the machine world, the Matrix world, full of vampires, demons. But he said, you know what? I'm still going to be in the light. And that's what we all have to do. That's what we all have to do to become our greatest versions. Deep divers, be in the light. Because one thing vampires can't stand is the light. And that's also a metaphor. These people out here can't stand the sun for a reason. You know why? Because in the sun, they get exposed. So follow the sun, deep divers. Do your sun salutations. And then you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Deep divers, let's breathe. Whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support the real. Hit that like button if you support the real, deep divers. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, in the film, if you notice that she was once in a relationship with one of the brothers, but she got infected. And a lot of the times you got to pay attention in Sin City, because that's what Sinners is all about, that a woman is going to be sent to you who's going to bring you down. Look what's happening to Shannon Sharp. Pay attention. That's what Sinners is all about. Anyway, deep divers, look, join the YouTube membership for all new exclusive behind the scenes access to information that's going to help you become your greatest version, and join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart Deep Divers. Click the link down below and be inspired, and go and get the brand new book, Feel Alive 2. Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart, the secret recipe to becoming your greatest version. Now available on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book. Click the link down below, deep divers. You're going to love it. And go and get the good ass prana shirts. All new designs you're going to love. ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. Deep divers. The vampires tried to bite us. They forgot we were the light. What? Slow motion this side. I said the vampires tried to bite us. They forgot we were the light. Every single day, remind yourself you're being surrounded by vampires. in different forms, sometimes in the form of a woman, sometimes in the form of a man. And you have to protect your energy, because sometimes they come to you with a good story. But if you don't have discernment, you're going to go along with them. But if you do, if you can say, actually, you can't come in, because they can only come in if you say yes. The vampires can only affect you if you say yes. Energy vampires can only steal your energy if you give them permission. Hip hop, we gave them permission. We said, hey, you can take it. You can take the culture. And this is what they gave you. Gangster rap, which has now led to the deterioration of the whole hip hop genre, right? Money, hoes, clothes. And that's what Sinners is all about. It's showing you how you're in Sin City right now, and it's time to wake up, be free, and show light to the vampires. Show light to the vampires, deep divers. Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support the real. Share this video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, hit the like button right now if you support the real. Share this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation, deep divers. One love. Peace.